Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this good Monday. It is officially December, last month of the year. Please make sure that you subscribe to me on Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, and on YouTube. I'm on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself pod, and I'm also on Instagram at I'm Not Repeating Myself pod. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. I know I definitely did. Went to go see my Bulls. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later though, cause I gotta put them niggas on the Summer Jam screen. But glad y'all could be with me, man. I'm officially 30 episodes into this motherfucker, man. This shit is crazy, bro. Shit is crazy, man. Applause for me, man, for making it to 30 episodes, man. That shit is crazy. I don't have a soundboard, but man, I'm proud of myself. Very, very proud of myself. And you know, it's so crazy because over the last couple weeks, I've been seeing a couple of podcasts, within the culture, cancel and hang it up. Uh, One in particular that I enjoyed was the Need to Know podcast with Savon and Alex. If you don't know, they was kind of off the Joe Budden tree. Then I seen the one with DJ had Elliot Wilson with the bigger picture canceling. Everybody pretty much got like the same reasoning for stopping, man. It's like this podcast shit ain't for the weak. This podcast shit is not for the weak, man. So for me to hit 30 straight weeks, man, I'm definitely proud of myself. And, for the ones that, unfortunately they had to stop, man, I'll always say this, man, like, because I've had periods when I stop. But ultimately, if it's what you love, man, you find a way back into the space, man. You find your way back into the space. Like I tell everybody, bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. All I did was bet on myself. That's all I did. Bet on yourself. If you believe in yourself and you trust your talent, you will bet on yourself. You don't have to take the exact same path that I did. You can go, team up with somebody else, but bet on yourself. Bet on yourself, man. Like I said, me, I'm a bet on myself because I believe in my shit. I believe in my talent, and I'm the best solo podcaster in the world. So maybe others can't see it like how I see it. That's how I see myself. So, and that's how I'm approaching this shit. So, again, salute to me for hitting 30 straight. And, for those who are struggling and going through it, man, you got to stay down with it even through the rough patches, bruh. You got to stay down with it even through the rough patches. You got to let your love carry it even when you ain't loving that shit at the time. It sounds crazy, but those who get it, get it. Like, even when you're not liking it, you're not feeling it, your love will carry you. And in the long run, it'll pay off. But that's not nothing you haven't heard me say before. But I'm just reiterating it because it's an important message to always bet on yourself. And I'm just not speaking, for podcasts. This go for anything. Granted, I'm speaking about it because of, the news with the podcast and all that other shit. But yeah, man, it's a grind to say Vaughn and them, man, that shit. They was about 30, 300 and some episodes in. I think they started like around 2017, 18, something like that. So that's a grind, bro. But potting and doing life is tough. It is tough. It is a grind, especially when you don't have deals in place. A lot of people see like the Joe Buddens and the Joe Rogans and everybody else, and you can't really compare yourself to them because, they've been in it longer and, they're more so, Rogan's not independent. I don't really count Rogan because he's not really within our culture. I'm just using him as because, when you think of podcasting, he is a name that you can't avoid. But like when people look at Joe, I'll use Joe. When people look at Joe, it'll be like, oh, I could get in here and I could do this and all. No, bro, you can't do that. You can't do that. He has established himself as, the top dog in this shit for a reason. And that's why I say if you're going to jump into the podcast lane, bro, you got to have a long-term mindset. It can't be short-term. It can't be short-term. I'll never be the one to say that, breaks don't happen or I did it. I hit a wall with it. But I strapped my boots the fuck back up and bet it on myself. And that's all I did. I bet it on myself because I love this shit. I believe in myself. And again, I'm the best solo podcaster in the world. Now, if you don't feel like that about yourself, then hey, it is what it is. Move the fuck out the way so somebody else can get in that space and do what they do. But what's going to happen is years is going to pass and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, damn, I should have did that shit. But yeah, that shit is tough. And honestly, if you're going to jump into this podcast world, you really got to know what you're in it for. That's another thing. A lot of motherfuckers is jumping into the podcast game thinking it's going to be a quick lick, a quick money grab. Oh, I'm attention seeking this. And it's not going to last. It's not going to last. Your audience is going to recognize what's real and what's fake. Trust me. Trust me, don't get caught up in all this other shit. You're gonna be playing yourself because you're gonna hit a point where it's like, damn, like that shouldn't have hit. Well, you should have never gotten it. You should have never gotten it. I'm 9 years into this shit. I'm 9 years into it. Never made a dime. Never made a dime. I put way more money into it. And that's another thing too. If you trust in your shit and you believe in your shit, you will push all your chips to the center of the table again and bet on yourself. That's what I did back in May. I pushed all my chips to the center of the table, said, fuck that. I'm betting on myself. Solo podcasting is one of the hardest forms of I say entertainment, because you do have to entertain the audience. You have to keep their attention. But hey, I'm built for this shit. I had never done a solo podcast before May. I've done podcasts for 9 years, but I never did a solo episode. But I said, fuck it. It is what it is. I'm going to run it up solo and see what happens. And I've seen the rewards so far, and I'm going to continue to run that shit up. And that's how you got to approach it. If if you jumping into a podcast, lane that's not really for you or a particular subject, it's not going to work. Whatever you're talking about, if you're not familiar with that topic or you're not familiar with that field, don't do it. Don't do it, because the audience is going to recognize. They're going to recognize, and it's not going to yield the results that you think. But if you love it, bet on yourself, man. Bet on yourself. Stop making excuses as to why you can't do it either. That's another reason a lot of motherfuckers is making excuses. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you might have to, spend some money in that time that, it might not be beneficial for you at the time, but it'll pay off in the long run. When I went and I spent money on light, camera, audio equipment, all this other shit, another laptop, I was like, hey, listen. Now for me, I had the funds, but it's not all the money that I wanted to spend at one time. No, I didn't. But I said, fuck it. I'm spending all this bread at one time and get this shit and run it the fuck up. And that's what I did. So I just want to say, man, if you in this podcast world, man, keep grinding. Keep grinding. Keep fucking grinding. You never know what type of results you're going to get. But what you do know is if you don't do it, nothing will come from it. Nothing will come from it. Hey, you look at some of the greats, man. Shit, fucking even Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, when he first started, 2012, 11, whenever that was, he was doing a Minecraft video. He was getting like 5, 10, 15 views. He was thinking 7 subscribers. He was thinking 20 subscribers. Some of his videos sat at 20 and 15 views for months, sometimes years, before he finally hit. But you got to stay consistent. Consistency is the biggest component in life. I always say that. I always end the podcast with continue chasing your dreams, chasing your goals, shit like that. But it's true. It's cliche, but it's true, bro. You got to stay down. You got to stay down, bro. And trust your process. Trust your process. Don't get caught up in the view, all that. Keep going. Keep going. Watch yourself over. Watch other people. Don't bite nobody else, but, take bits and pieces from other people and mold it into your own persona so you can deliver to the best of your ability. So I just wanted to start off with that because I did see that, and I did see that as a trending topic. Like, this podcast lane, bro, this shit ain't easy. You're not about to jump in this motherfucker and get deals. And even speaking about this whole deals thing, because even the transition with like networks, so crazy, because ever since I was a kid, a part of me knew I always wanted to do this form of media. I just didn't know it would be in a podcast form. I just didn't think it would be in a podcast form. I was either going to be on Fox. I was either going to be on ESPN. I was either going to be, doing whatever the kid, even if it was a hip hop platform, it didn't matter. I knew I wanted to do that. I knew I always wanted to integrate sports and hip hop culture into one. So I just didn't know, because there was no network doing it at the time. But now look, as time passed, internet has become a big staple in what we do. So you don't need the networks no more. The networks, you've seen it. The networks on ESPN and Fox, they cutting off shows. Bet on yourself. Everybody, all the former athletes or media personalities, they on YouTube doing their own shit. You can do the same thing too. It don't matter what it is. Hip hop media, sports media, don't matter. Get your ass up there and do your own shit. Because the networks are not looking for talent no more. They're looking for audiences. That's what it's about at the end. All these networks, even these streaming platforms, they don't care about talent. They care about audience size. That just is what it is. It's not for me to say that you shouldn't continue to grow your talent and not have pride in your talent. Yes. But if you looking out here trying to get deals, hey, bro, they care about audience size. You're not about to, you could type up all the emails, all you want, and send them out. I'm not saying still don't do that, but these networks and streaming platforms, they're looking for audience size. They don't look at you as a number. So you got to get out here and bet on yourself. And then even when you do that, you create all the leverage. Because if you grow your audience on Apple Podcasts and on YouTube and on Twitch or whatever the case may be, bro, you hold all the leverage at that point. What you need them for? You done built your audience. So in the end, you always win when you bet on yourself. You always win when you bet on yourself. You grow your audience, you don't need them no more. Yeah, you was a person who was looking for a opportunity at Spotify, at SportsCenter, at ESPN, at FS1, at all this other shit. Now you done grew your own audience on YouTube and Apple and all this other shit. What you need them for? Now you control all the deals that may come your way. You're not boxed in because you're married to a network. And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that. You get what I'm saying? If you part of a network and they're giving you a great deal, salute to you. They helped you grow your audience, salute to you. But a lot of people are not afforded that luxury. I know I was one of them. You get what I'm saying? I'm not married to no network, and that's cool. You get what I'm saying? But my road is my road for a reason. And I'm going to continue to bet on myself. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and kick this shit off. So I seen a video, man. This shit is fucking insane. And I know a lot of y'all probably already done seen it. But it was this viral video going around of this incident at a barbershop. Fucking insane. This guy obviously had a receding hairline. And, you know, he had an issue with his barber, you know, pushing this shit back. Now, there's nothing his barber could have done about it. The shit was cooked. And the reality of the situation is, bro, there was nothing your barber could have did about that. So they proceed to argue. And he then proceeds, the customer, to go outside and go get a gun and come back inside and threaten this dude's life. In front of kids. It's like two kids in the video. I think it's a father and his two kids, because eventually he told one of the kids was sitting in the barber chair ready to get his hair cut. The other one was over. He's like, hey, yo, y'all go outside. Dude comes back inside with a gun and is literally goddamn pushing up on dude, got him in the corner with the gun to his head. Talking about, you lucky I'll go back to jail. I don't want to go back to jail. I'll kill your bitch ass. Da-da-da-da. Bro, that's clown shit and that's whole shit. Number one, it's never that serious. It's never that serious over no fucking haircut, bro. Never will be. Never will be. And a lot of you niggas think that, see, because he didn't want no smoke for real. That's what I noticed. He didn't want no smoke for real. Because if he really wanted smoke, he would have been started fighting. But he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight the barber. What he wanted to do was just threaten him and instill fear in him. That's what he wanted to do. He didn't get super tough until he went and got the gun. And one thing I always know, you don't never pull no gun out on nobody if you're not going to use that shit. Never. Because you don't know how the other person is going to react to it. If you ever pull a gun out on somebody, you better be prepared to use it and take what come with it. He lucky the barber didn't take the gun from his ass and kill him. But he's definitely going back to jail. And just to do that shit in front of the kids is just more suckerish. It's no other way to put it than to say that was some sucker shit. Point blank period, that was some sucker shit. Point blank period, that was some sucker shit, man. And after just watching it, I felt more for the kids, more so than the barber. You know, granted, nobody got hurt, but first of all, he's definitely going back. You talking about you ain't going back to prison, you going back to jail. You're going back and keep his ass in there. In my opinion, because it's never that serious over no haircut. And another thing, too, with this haircut shit, right? Because a lot of you niggas are fucking delusional. You niggas are holding on to shit that's no longer there, bro. See, me, I don't got to worry about that. I don't got to worry about that shit. My shit A1. Been A1, it's gonna stay A1 for years. A lot of y'all not afforded that luxury, but that's another conversation for another day. But a lot of you niggas is holding on to a haircut that's no longer there that you thought it was in your early 20s or whatever the kid, whatever age you are. Let it the fuck go. A haircut and a receding hairline is not worth your life. It's not worth your life, bro. It's not. You're gonna have to come to the realization is that whatever you thought was there is no longer there. No corners is gone. The front is thinning. The crown is thinning. You're going to have to accept the fact that you're either going to go bald or you do what these other niggas do, take your ass over to Turkey, spend a little 4 or 5 bands, but threaten a barber's life over a receding hairline. See, I don't think, I just looking at it, you can already tell he had the Batman shit going on, so the barber couldn't do nothing with it. The barbers are not purposely trying to fuck up their clientele by fucking up barbers. Fucking up their customer's haircut. That's not going on. Barbers don't do that. Barbers are not purposely fucking up your hairline because that's loss of money and loss of not only you as a client, but potential other people. The barber has no reason to purposely fuck up your haircut. Most of the time, when you coming in that bitch, you know what your hairline look like. You know what your barber can do. You niggas going to these barbershops telling these barbers you want this type of fade and you want this. They can't do nothing with that, bro. Your corners are cooked. They're gone. That's it. There's nothing they can do about it. Now, again, unless you carry your ass over to Turkey, get the surgery done, and come back, then yeah, your barber have you looking like how you was back in the day. But some of y'all niggas is holding on to shit, and it's delusion. It's delusion, bro. It's over. It's over. Pack it the fuck up. It's nothing you can do about it. Especially you niggas over 30. Because we all know most of the niggas over 30, tapping into 40, experience 66% of men experience hair loss within that time frame. 66%. So if you still holding on, you're good. Other niggas, you're going to have to seek some other ventures. Either go bald or go get the surgery. But threatening a barber's life over a fucking haircut is fucking insane, bro. That shit don't even make no sense. Especially in front of the kids, man. That's insane. Like I couldn't imagine like the type, like the kids probably don't even want to come back to that barbershop, bro. The kids probably don't even want to come back to that barbershop. Cause a kid ain't gonna forget no shit like that. That was just some ultimate pussy sucker shit. And I hope that nigga stayed locked up. But for you niggas out here who playing around with your hair, with your hair and thinking something is there and you're out here on your Jalen Brown shit, bro, stop. Jalen Brown out here catching bodies. This nigga out here playing ball, dicking his head, dumping his head and shit. The blackout getting on other niggas. Bro, you gotta accept the fact, bro. I remember there was a few football players and basketball players. Carlos Boozer notorious for that shit. Goddamn Ray Lewis, he was real bad with it. But bro, it's not like you don't got. And see, Jalen Brown, there's no excuses for that nigga because he got way more money than anybody to go out here and get this shit pumping. So you can go and afford it, go take a trip, go get that shit done. You out here, you getting braid. That's another thing. Stop getting hairstyles that is not friendly to your hair. Stop getting braids when you know you balding. Stop it. Enough is enough. You niggas out here, you trying to be like me. I'm playing, so don't get serious on me. But I'm playing, but I'm serious at the same time too. You out here, you trying to get these braid styles that's not fitting you. Out here, you trying to get the 2-strand twist that you balding, bro. You're thinning. Stop trying to be like the big dog and get styles that you know is not complementary to your hairstyle, to your hair. It's not gonna work. Niggas talking about the braids, you know, is the reason why Jalen bald. He been balding. That shit just sped up the process because you pulling on them roots, they already dead. Now you just speeding up the process, bro. That's why he stopped getting them. But stop getting hairstyles that you know is not complementary to your hair. It's not going to work. You're only going to make yourself look like a fucking fool. There's a player out there now in Sacramento. Can't think of dog's name. Balding like a motherfucker. Still hanging on. Got the nerve to have long hair and all this other shit. Bro, that shit is cooked. Jalen Suggs is another one. I seen this nigga before the season had the nerve to go get a haircut. Stalk long as a motherfucker on the side. The shit thinning right here, and then you gonna go get this shit lined up in the front. Bro, stop. You make yourself look like a fucking fool out here. But that's another thing niggas gotta stop doing. Stop getting hairstyles that are not complimentary to your hair. It's over. And you're gonna have to accept it. So you're either gonna go bald or go get the surgery. It's one of the two. But all this other shit, and sometimes even if you're not thinning that bad, bro, just get a light Caesar. Just go ahead and get a light Caesar with waves, bro. It'll be less noticeable. Now, you can't get the dark Caesar because, again, you're thinning. But if you go get the light Caesar, bro, especially if you good up here in the front, you might have a little thinning right here. You be good. You straight. But don't tell your barber give you no dark Caesar. Try to grow your hair out, get a high top, get the little burst fade and all that. No. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's over for that shit, bro. It's over for that. But yeah, I seen that video and I was like, bro, get this nigga the fuck out of here, bro. That shit was disgusting. That shit was nasty. I'm not fucking with no shit like that. Niggas need to come to a realization, man, that haircut ain't worth your life. I understand a lot of the times barbers might fuck you up, but that should have grown back, bro. That should have grown back. It's not worth your life, though. So moving on, I want to talk about Pharrell because I missed this the last episode and I was kind of shitting at myself because I forgot to talk about it, so I got to talk about it this week. So there was a video going around about Pharrell talking about politics, and I'm going to round this conversation out because this all goes back to why you have to look at entertainers and athletes in their art form only. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. This is Pharrell speaking about why he's speaking about, just opportunities and why he doesn't fuck with politics, all that.
As we look at what's going on in the current political climate, I'm just saying to, I don't want to turn anybody off, but I hate politics. Like, despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side, because I think when you pick a side, you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just got to say, when I think about it, the wells are drying up, and now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people here tonight? Yeah. And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Right, so I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. That's a point of view that I have now that I'm resting on. And if diversity, equity, and inclusion ever comes back in style, cool. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on being the best because I can bank on that. Because that's what's going to get you the position. Where, I don't want you to give me anything. I want you to panic and not let me out the room because I'm the best.
So Pharrell, with this all lives matter talking point, listen, this is why I say I don't care for entertainers and athletes' opinions on politics. If you're an entertainer and an athlete and you are well versed in politics, salute. Do your thing. But it's not a need. They are not the voice for black people. They are not. And this is why I look at athletes and entertainers in their art form only, and I credit them and I give them their roses in their art form only. This is some bullshit with Pharrell talking about. Talking about, do you want the job because you're black? Motherfucker, I want the job because I'm black and I'm talented, nigga. Both. Because we all know in all these different spaces that black people insert themselves in, we don't get the fair opportunities at times. A lot of the times. That's just the reality of the situation. You can be just as talented as a white person, and they will not give you that job because you're black. They will not give you that opportunity because you're black. But am I surprised at Pharrell saying this? No, I'm not. A lot of these entertainers, as they start to rise and they get more money, they shit change, and they start to have different outlooks and all this other shit. Or he might have been the same way his whole life. I don't know. Don't really fucking care. I just know he fits the mold of a lot of celebrities that when they reach that level of stardom and fame and money, they start preaching this all lives matter shit, bro. That shit is lame. That shit is lame. Do I want the job because I'm sure, bro? Listen, if I know I'm talented and I know I fit the credentials for this position, give me the fucking job, bro. Don't play in my face knowing you're going to give it to a white person who ain't as talented as me, who don't get busy as me. So yes, I do want the job for both reasons. I don't got to separate the two. I don't have to do that. So that shit was just lame. But again, stop looking for these entertainers and athletes to be the voice of black people, bro. No, they are in a certain field for a certain reason. That's what they do over there. So you keep them over there. Again, if you are an athlete and an entertainer, you are well versed in politics, okay, cool, do your thing. Just don't speak ignorantly. That was some ignorant shit that Pharrell was speaking, bro. That shit don't even make sense. Don't make sense at all. And all this, oh, I hate politics shit, bro. We are way past the days of this, oh, I don't believe in politics shit. Nigga, you better believe in politics or politics is gonna do you. Especially if you a black person. All this, oh, I don't believe in politics. And nigga, you better start believing in that motherfucker. Because the reality is, as a black person, that shit is going to affect you in one way, no matter how much money you got. Especially when you start combining your social life with politics. Because best believe white people are voting for their best interests. And they're applying it every single day. So as a black person, you better be doing the same thing, bro. And I'm not telling nobody who to vote for or none of that. But you better start getting involved, paying attention to what the fuck is going on, especially at a local level. President shit, I got my own opinions about that. But at the local level, state level, and all that, you better be informed of what the fuck is going on out here. Because that shit is going to affect you one way or another. Especially some of the black people who are heavy religious base. I have some family members, who kind of subscribe to that mindset. They heavy religious, so they trust in God. Don't take nothing away from that. But hey, we living on planet Earth right now. And politics affect your everyday living. So you better wisen up. You better wisen the fuck up. But all that stupid shit Pharrell was talking, man, it goes back to the same old point, bro. Enough. You gotta stop looking to these niggas to save you, man. These niggas ain't our fucking saviors. An athlete is not your savior. A rapper is not your savior. A singer is not your savior. A fashion designer is not your savior. An actor is not your savior. Black people, they are not. You don't have to look for them for guidance when it comes to this politics shit. They are not in that space for a reason. Now, a few, because there's a few who speak informative about it. And the rest, most of them, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. And that's fine, but just shut the fuck up, though. Don't be getting on your platforms and speaking on shit that you don't know about. That's really my only thing, bro. Like, if you're not into, cool. Don't get your ass on no platforms and start speaking on shit that you don't know about. That's it. That's the only thing. These niggas, they go out here, they doing their thing. Do your thing. When it comes to this political shit and the social climate, leave that for the other ones who know what they talking about. You carry your ass on and do some other shit. That's what you do. You go carry your ass and you go worry about whatever field that you're doing. Keep producing dope albums. I got Pharrell as a top 2 producer of all time. But I don't look for Pharrell to give me no insight on no real life shit. Never have, never will. And this apply to other artists and entertainers and athletes that I like. I don't look for them for guidance on real life shit. And I don't care for their opinion on politics and real life shit. I don't care for it. And I'm not seeking it. And us as black people, we can't continue to look. I'm not saying that a lot of us are. I'm just saying for those who do, who look for them to, oh, well, they don't gotta do shit. Especially if they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Now, if you're informative, again, that's a different conversation. But these athletes, entertainers, all of them, they are not the voice for black people when it comes to this real life political shit. They just not. Do your own research. Read some books. Do some research. Do your own due diligence to understand what the fuck is going on out here. And don't look for these niggas to do it because they don't know what the fuck is going on. And they're going to, most times, going to lead you down a road that you're not familiar with. And 9 times out of 10, that's wrong. So that's all I got to say about that Pharrell shit because that shit was just fucking insane. And I forgot to talk about that shit. So let me speak up on my trip, right? I went to go see my Bulls on Friday night. Saw them play the Charlotte Hornets. You know, it was an NBA Cup night, right? So let me say this. My Bulls are some imaginary fucking players. We started out the season 5-0 for the first time since like 97, some shit like that, 96, 97 season. 6-1 start. We was balling, doing our thing. We was beating the Pistons, which I'm going to speak about in a second too. Now we are 9-10. These niggas done lost 3 straight to the Pelicans, to the Hornets, and to the Pacers. All had below 5 wins on the season. Imaginary fucking players, man. I couldn't believe that shit. These niggas letting Colin Sexton go off. I didn't even know Colin Sexton was a fucking Hornet. I didn't even know that nigga was a Hornet. Miller, he's cool. I ain't gonna shit on Brandon Miller. But as far as the rest of that roster, we should have smoked them niggas. It's just a lack of consistency and cohesiveness with this fucking team. Niggas just don't know what they doing at times. The defense as a team is lost. I don't know what the fuck type of lineups Billy Donovan had at some point at times. And I'm a guy who supported Billy Donovan. But at a point in that game, he had Trey Jones out there, Ayo, Patrick Williams, Jalen Smith, and he had some, who else he had out there? I think it was, who else was out there? He had a lineup of Trey Jones, Ayo DeSumo, Jalen Smith, Patrick Williams, and I think it was Javon Carter. That's who it was. Javon Carter. What the fuck are we doing with that lineup? Patrick Williams, y'all know how I feel about this nigga still getting $90 million to come off the bench. Non-productive. Mataz Buzelis, looking like he hitting the slide or slump that's not familiar with his game. I'm not liking it. Vooch is the only one who's really been kind of consistent. And I noticed that because the last game that we won, he doing a post game, they all jumping around him, celebrating. He like, hey, yo, chill out. This game shouldn't even have been this close. That's what I like. That's why I fuck with Vooch. But everybody else got to step the fuck up. Josh Giddey, he been kind of on a little slump too. Step your fucking game up. But we some imaginary players, man. We are some imaginary fucking players, bro. You had me fooled. Now we 9-10 sitting at the 10 seed when we was the 1 seed. Ain't that a bitch? I don't fucking get it. So, yeah, it was good for the experience. I had some dope seats, but there's no reason why we should have lost 123-116 to the fucking Hornets, bro. That should not have happened. Should not have happened at all. So, that was that on that. I told myself I might go see the prior. I told myself I might go see the Panthers versus Rams game. No, sir. And the number one reason why is because I said last year that I'm not going to go to a Panthers home game until we make the playoffs. So I'm going to stick by that. And granted, we have been looking good. We have more wins than we've had over the last 3-4 years. We're sitting at 6-6. But Bryce Young, man. Bryce Young. Still inconsistent. And see, a lot of fucking fans was trying to guilt trip a lot of fans for not celebrating his Falcons performance. When he threw for a record-setting 448 yards, 3 touchdowns, we was down like 20. No, sir. I didn't feel nothing, and I stand by that. I didn't feel nothing with Bryce Young in that performance. I didn't. You know why? Because I know he was going to go out to San Francisco and do what the fuck he did. Lay a fucking dud. Up and down with this nigga still. And I'm supposed to sit up here and celebrate when this nigga go out here and do good? No, nigga. Be consistent throughout the whole course of a fucking season. And this is the reason why he is not the franchise quarterback long term. I legit didn't feel nothing after that Falcons performance because that's what he do against the Falcons. He motherfucking Dan Marino against the Falcons. Rest of the league, up and fucking down. Or a complete dud. That's what he does. That's who he is. You can't guilt trip me into not supporting inconsistency. I will never do that. I will never fucking do that. Never. Bryce Young is not the long-term answer. Period. And I will not support him as the franchise quarterback of my team until he shows he is the value of a number 1 overall draft pick. And I stand by that. I've been a fan since 98. I've seen it all. I've seen a lot more lows than highs as a Panthers fan. You will not guilt trip me into supporting this nigga when he's inconsistent. So yeah, I told myself, I said, yeah, I was going to go to the game. No, and we play the Rams? Fuck that. You're not going to have me out there. We got them in the fourth quarter. It's 43-7. Nah, hell no. Fuck that. Stafford on the MVP season 2. Shout out to Matt Stafford too, because Matt Stafford has been doing this fucking thing. Having an MVP caliber season. And his stint with the Rams has been a great one. He has had when he got traded from Detroit with that swap with Goff, did his thing with the Rams, got that Super Bowl. But this season has honestly been one of his better seasons. You could put it up there with one of his Detroit Lions seasons. But yeah, you wasn't going to have me out there embarrassed. Fuck that. And it costs too much. I reserve the right as a fan to save my money. I don't have to go to the fucking games to support my team, bro. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I don't have to support my team, and I can still be a fan. I don't have to go to the games. I don't have to put money in your pocket. You got to earn my money. Fuck that. I've been a fan way too long for me to be subjected to that, my nigga. Sorry. I'm not going to do that. So that's that on that. I'm going to get back on football in a minute. I'm going to get back on this basketball shit because I got to give credit to the Pistons and Cade, especially Cade Cunningham. And I had Cade Cunningham right outside the top 10 going into the season. I think I had him ranked like 11th. I think I had him 11th, but he's been doing his fucking thing. Shout out to Cade Cunningham, man. That nigga has been balling, doing his motherfucking thing, bro. But this is what I predicted coming into the season because Cade is just on a fucking tear. Cade is on a fucking tear, man. Like, this nigga is putting up 28, 6, and 9 on 46% from the floor. Salute to that nigga, man. Salute to that nigga. Cade Cunningham, definitely, he might hit all NBA status this year for sure. Definitely going to be an all-star. Definitely could be better from 3-point, but with this production, bro, 28, 6, and 9 on 46 from the floor, you can't be mad at that. These niggas sitting at the top of the league right now. These niggas are sitting at 16-4. They done won they lost a couple of games, but they won 9 out of the last 11 prior or some shit like that. These niggas is balling. These niggas do not look fake. Shout out to Jalen Duren. He's been doing this thing too. That nigga has been balling as well. So I got to get credit. Even though I'm a Bulls fan, I got to get credit. I got to be fair and give credit where credit is due, man. These niggas is doing a motherfucking thing. Jalen Duren, he putting up 20 and 12. Doing this thing at 22 years old too. Yeah, shout out. They got a nice roster, man. They doing their fucking thing. So shout out to the Pistons, man. No hate over here. I don't fuck with y'all, but I gotta be real. It ain't no hate for real. Don't fuck with y'all because I'm a Bulls fan, but y'all niggas is doing your thing, man. So salute. Gotta give some salute to the Pistons, man, because they out here, they doing their fucking thing, man. Back on football. Joe Burrow is back. That bad man is back, bro. Hey, listen. Joe Burrow, we all know he has been dealing with injuries throughout his career. But when he's on that field, I see a lot of people trying to put him in the Kawhi field, Kawhi Leonard field. I think Kawhi has been more hurt than Joe Burrow. But nonetheless, Joe Burrow, he came back Thursday against the Ravens, and he showed why. He's still top 2 quarterback in the league. I stand by that. In my opinion, Joe Burrow has, since he touched down in this league, consistently been top 2 quarterback in the league. The only guy who's been better than him is that guy in KC. That guy in KC. But Joe Burrow, he came back 24-46, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. He must have lit a fire into the fucking defense because they had 5 turnovers, and I ain't never seen the Bengals defense do no shit like that. Never seen no shit like that. But shout out to Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow came back. He was dealing with that serious turf toe injury, but he showed why he's a top 2 quarterback, man. I've always said I love Joe's accuracy, great throwing power, all platform plays. He just continues to ball out. Last year, he had one of the all-time years, even though the Bengals didn't make the playoffs. He wasn't the reason why the Bengals didn't make the playoffs. They probably won't make the playoffs again this year, but it was great to see him back on the field. It's always good when the elites are playing. That's all I really have to say. So salute to Joe Burrow for going out there performing on that Thursday night, going into Baltimore against all odds, and putting on a great performance, man. So salute to Joe Burrow. On the flip side, Lamar Jackson. It's been rough. Now, I did say the Ravens was going to go on a 9-game win streak and make the playoffs. I was wrong about that because now the Baltimore Ravens, they just took their slide. They took their slide, and this is coming off what was it? I think they had a 3. Let me see what their win streak was. They was coming off, after that bye when they were sitting at 1-5. They beat the Bears, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Vikings, they beat the Browns, they beat the Jets, and then, I didn't have them losing the game potentially up until the Green Bay game. These niggas dropped a dud, and Lamar Jackson this is the worst slump I've seen Lamar Jackson have throughout his career. I've never seen Lamar Jackson play this bad throughout the stretch of his career. Still an elite quarterback. Don't get it fucked up. This is no indictment on who Lamar Jackson is as a totality of a quarterback, and indictment, none of that. But a spade is a spade, bro. This nigga has been playing like dog shit the last 3 weeks. Over the last 3 weeks, Lamar Jackson has a passer rating of 63 with 592 yards, 3 interceptions in 3 games in his last 3 games with, I think, 3 fumbles. Inexcusable for a top 5 quarterback. Inexcusable. And them taking that loss might take a hit at them making the playoffs. It might hurt them because let me see. Looking at the standings, the Baltimore Ravens are currently 6-6. So, Pittsburgh, they're still in the lead at 6-5. Now they can still win the division, but Lamar Jackson 100% has to play better. Roquan Smith, he's cooked that linebacker. There's no more to say about Roquan Smith. He just ain't it. Kyle Hamilton, the rest of them guys, they got to hold it down. Marlon Humphrey, you already know how I feel about Marlon Humphrey. I never really was a fan of the guy since he came into the league. I just don't think he's like that when it comes to the cornerback position. I think he'd be better served at linebacker, in my opinion. But that's another story for another day. But Lamar Jackson ultimately has to play better. This is inexcusable over a 3-game stretch. Inexcusable to be playing like that. So hopefully they get their act together because, it ain't looking too good for them. It ain't looking too good, and I expect better from Lamar Jackson. Another game that happened, the Bears and the Eagles. Listen, salute to the Bears. The Bears are looking very good. They are now 9-3. They're now second in the NFC. Went into Philadelphia, got a huge win. Shout out to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, I was getting on him earlier this year because I wanted to see if he was going to be consistently what they marketed him as far as being as advertised as number 1 overall pick, But Caleb Williams has been playing good. He had a couple of plays early in the game where it's looking like, all right, bro. But second half, late second quarter going to second half, he was making the plays necessary to win the game. Had some great throws. Shout out to Caleb Williams. I want to actually, what did he do in that game? Let me see. Let me look at that game cast because the nigga came, he came and he did his thing, man. So I don't want to shit on dog. I want to give him his, his proper due. Caleb Williams versus let me see. I think he had one, but I think he made a lot of plays with his legs. That was necessary. Yeah, he didn't really have a crazy of a game. 17-36, 154 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Yeah, so it was, but he made the plays necessary to win. He had a beautiful touchdown pass to Cole Kmet for a TD. And on the flip side, Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts is a quarterback, again, that I have rated 6 coming into the season. But Jalen Hurts did not play well. He hasn't played well over the last couple of games, actually. You had a 21-0 lead against the Dallas Cowboys. You couldn't do shit in the second half. Inexcusable. Against the Bears, 19-34, 230, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Inexcusable. Running game still non-existent. He's missing easy throws. He missed Devontae Smith wide open on the slant. That could have been, he probably could have took for a TD, but you also miss, I believe that was Dallas Goedert on the opposite side, wide open. It's just, now A.J. Brown, he had a good game, and we all know A.J., he probably ain't gonna complain. He had 10 catches, 132 yards, 2 TDs. One of those TDs was kind of like in garbage time, kind of late in the game. But with Jalen Hurts again, I'll never shit on Jalen Hurts for having the weapons that he has. It's not about that with me. It's him not playing to a high level with the weapons that he has. For him to have the weapons that he has at the tight end, wide receiver position, that's all I'm talking about right now, because the run game is a run game. This nigga should be having crazy numbers in the passing game. Crazy numbers in the passing game. And this is a continuous theme of why people say the things that they say about Jalen Hurts. Now, again, I think Jalen Hurts is a good passer. I think he's better on deep throws than he is intermediate and, in between that 15 to 25 yard window. He does have a good deep ball. But something about them intermediate throws and them in the easy throws, it's just something's not connecting. Like, he's inaccurate in that intermediate range, and I can't put a foot on it, bro. I don't get it. And it's not like he doesn't have the talent. Again, I think I had him rated as a 6th quarterback coming in the league. I think he does have potential to be a great quarterback. I can't put him up there with the elites because I don't see him as an elite quarterback. But he does have moments where he has great games. You get what I'm saying? But put him up there, and he's a dual threat. I can't put him with the elite dual threats like Josh Allen and, Lamar Jackson. No, he's not in that tier with those guys. But Jalen Hurts has to be better. Do I think he will be better? It remains to be seen. I have faith in them that they can get it going, but they better get it together quick because they on a 2-game slide. And you don't want to be stumbling going to the playoffs because it never bodes well. Last year, niggas was going to the playoffs steaming hot, rolling. But Jalen Hurts has to be better, bro. And for him to have the weapons that he has, I expect better. Again, I don't shit on him for having the weapons. You're supposed to give your quarterbacks the best of the best. I will always stand on that. But this is just inexcusable play over the last couple of weeks. And even in some wins during the season, he's looked pedestrian. You get what I'm saying? So he 100% has to be better. 100% has to be better. So let me highlight some great football play that's been going on. Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons. Man, listen. I said this before. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to get on Myles Garrett. I'm going to speak on Myles Garrett first. Myles Garrett is the best defensive end I've ever seen in my lifetime. I seen Michael Strahan play. I seen Julius Peppers play. I seen Jared Allen play. I know I'm missing a couple of names. There's no disrespect. I'm just shooting them off the hip. He's better than all those guys. Julius Peppers is my guy, a legend in two sports. Julius Peppers is also the only athlete to play in the Final Four and a Super Bowl. So salute to Julius Peppers. But Myles Garrett is the best defensive end I've ever seen with my 2 eyes. What he's doing is just amazing. Just amazing, bro. Like, it's Myles Garrett is the first player in history to have 6 straight seasons with 12+ sacks, bro. He's already at 18. And he could beat the sack record. And we still got how many more weeks to go? I think we in week 13. So, yeah, we got about 5 more weeks to go. He might smash it. But just the way his tape is just the way that he bends, his spin moves, in combination with his power, is nothing you can do with this guy, man. It's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can do with Myles Garrett. It's like, and granted, he got a lot of flack for re-signing with the Browns because, quote unquote, he wanted to win. But hands down, he's the best. And I already got him as top 3 defensive end of all time. I got him as top 3. Whatever. Lawrence Taylor, Myles Garrett. If you want to put Reggie White up there, I personally got him over Reggie White. I got him over him. But if that's your 3, that's the 3. He in the top 3. Without a doubt, Lawrence Taylor is in that. It's Lawrence Taylor, Myles Garrett, Reggie White. If you want to put Bruce Smith up there, cool. But he is the best defensive end I've ever seen with my eyes. And he is, without a doubt, top 3 defensive end to ever play this game. It just is what it is. He surpassed a lot of guys, man. And he's not even 30 years old yet. That's the thing. Myles is not even 30 years old yet. He'll be 30 in a month. So he still got another strong 4 or 5 years at peak play. Like what he's done in his career is amazing, man. And you gotta appreciate this performance, bro. Like in his career so far, he's already got how many sacks? He already got 120 sacks in his career. And he's only played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. That's crazy. Crazy. Again, he's sitting at 18 sacks on this season. 6 straight games with over 12 sacks is fucking insane. 12, 16, 16, 14, 14, 18. Insane. I seen a lot of y'all try to put Aiden Hutchinson in his field. It's levels. No way. TJ Watt, the all-time great. I've always had Myles Garrett over TJ Watt, though. I've always had Myles over TJ Watt, so I ain't really got no smoke with that. But Myles Garrett, greatest defensive end I've ever seen in my lifetime. It just is what it is. Next up, Micah Parsons. That trade still looks crazy. Dallas fans can talk all that shit all they want. That trade is still inexcusable. You know what's so crazy? You could have had Myles Garrett and Quinnen Williams. You could have gave up that first for Quinnen and still had Myles had you paid him. So that trade still looks crazy. Salute to Micah Parsons for also setting history. First player ever to start their career with 5 straight seasons with 12 sacks or more. Insane what this brother has been doing, bro. Insane what this man has been doing to start off his career, bro. First player ever to start their career with 5 straight seasons with 12 sacks or more. Something nobody else has done. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. And this is what I said when that whole contract shit was going on. You got to pay a guy like that. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, bro. 13 sacks, 13 and a half sacks, 14 sacks, 12 sacks, 12 and a half sacks. Nobody has ever done that. So when it comes to best defensive player in the league, it's Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, and everybody else. Because he living up to what the Packers paid for. Kenny Clark in a first. Stop it. You could have had Quinnen and Michael, but hey, salute to Micah Parsons for also making history. That nigga's just going insane. And that game he had against Detroit, oh man, wrecking shit. So salute to Micah Parsons, man, for getting busy doing this thing, man. So championship weekend is here in college football. It is fucking here. And man, I did college football, the playoff is almost here. I think it's going to start on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going to start. So championship weekend, you know, the big championship games we got for the Big 12 championship. We got BYU versus number 5 Texas Tech. We have the SEC championship, Georgia versus Alabama. We have Indiana versus Ohio State, both undefeated. That's going to be a big fucking game. And, of course, you got the clown shit. See, and I'm a Florida State fan, so, of course, ACC. I'm still trying to understand how Duke ended up in the ACC championship game with 5 losses. But they will be taking on Virginia for the ACC championship at 8 o'clock. So, yeah, man, I don't know. So, Indiana, Ohio State, I think Ohio State is going to go in and handle business. I think they're going to get busy on Indiana. No disrespect to Indiana. They are a great team. But I do have Ohio State coming out victorious in that game. I do. Alabama and Georgia. See, that's a tough one. Alabama, they did beat Georgia earlier this season. So it's going to be tough. But Alabama, they did, you know, now shout out to them. They did just win the Iron Bowl. They did just win their Iron Bowl. But they did have a loss at home versus Oklahoma. That's kind of tricky. Georgia, they have their one loss, of course, to Alabama. That's the only loss on their schedule. They're coming off like a 7-game win streak. They looking good. It's going to boil, in the SEC championship, it's going to boil down to which quarterback is going to make the least mistakes. Gunnar Stockton and Ty Simpson. Both quarterbacks, I don't think they're elite college quarterbacks. I think they're just good. I think they do enough just to get by. They do enough not to make mistakes. I'm not high on them as far as talent and, the ability to throw you to a victory. I don't believe any of those quarterbacks can do that. So it's going to boil down to which quarterback is going to make least mistakes. So it's really just a toss-up. I can't really pick. I really can't. Honestly, I cannot pick. I cannot pick who's going to win this game. It's really a toss-up. I think it's going to be a great game. This is one of the matchups where it can really swing either way. It's going to boil down to which defense is going to create more turnovers, which quarterback is going to make the least mistakes, which quarterback is going to make the right plays at the right time to take their team, and ultimately, be victorious. The run game can't really give nobody the edge in the run game because both these defenses are stout. So I'm interested to see who's going to come out victorious, but I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. But I really can't pick. It really can go either way. Like, this ain't one of those years where I feel like, yeah, Alabama got the edge, Georgia got the edge. No, this is an evenly matched game, bro. This is an evenly matched game. I want to see what the line is looking like. Let me see what the line is. Let me see what they got these odds looking like, man. Let me see. So they got Georgia favored by 1.5. All right, man. So it's evenly matched for a reason. If you got Georgia favored by 1.5, it could go either fucking way. It could go either way. Big 12 championship, BYU, Texas Tech. I think I got Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech, they just have more talent. They just got way more talent. They're favored by 12.5 anyway. They've had a great year. So I think with them getting in, with a win, they definitely locked themselves into, a college football playoff berth. And as far as the ACC championship, don't really give a damn. I think Virginia, they'll beat Duke. So yeah, man. And the college football, and again, I love it. And I think it's going to be another great year. Just looking at some of the predictions they got. So the predictions for like the first round buys, they got Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama. You have the first round matchups. You got Oregon versus Texas Tech, Memphis versus Georgia. That's interesting. Virginia versus Ole Miss, and Notre Dame versus BYU. I'll never bet on Notre Dame. I tell you that. They continue to sneak their ass in there because they're independent, but I'll never. No, I just don't see it. I don't see it, bro. It's just something I just can't. Them in Oregon, Notre Dame and Oregon will never get no bet out of me as far as if I'm predicting for a national championship. No. They've been imaginary players my whole life and prior to my life. I just don't see it. So yeah, man, I'm definitely interested to see how this college football weekend is gonna go. It's coming to an end. It's been a great year. I can't wait for the college football playoff to start. Championship weekend is here. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got, man. I want to thank y'all again for tapping in with me. 30 episodes, man. 30 episodes. I'm hearing this motherfucker. I'm going to run up another 30, another 30, and another 30, and another 30 after that. I want to salute my dog, Greg and George from Sneak This Podcast. These niggas hit 400 episodes. Salute to my guys for hitting 400 episodes of a podcast. They've been podcasting since April of 2016. That is not easy to do. Both of them have families. They have not been paid from this podcasting thing. They are like me. They've been 9 years, about to hit 10 years in this thing. 400 episodes needs to be saluted. So salute to my guys for hitting 400 episodes. Best sneaker podcast, period. Salute to my guys, man. That has not been easy. Me and Greg, we are a lot alike when it comes to this podcast. We have a lot of love, a lot of passion. I did see you, Greg, talking all that shit about how, your last podcast might be January 5th, 2027. I'm not hearing it. You going to continue to run that shit up because you always say that. And then, Greg, you got a little ego, man. There's nothing wrong with your ego. You want to allow yourself to sit back and watch other sneaker podcasts go out here pop they shit like that. No. You weren't allowed to. I don't see you letting that happen. I just don't see it. But again, salute to my guys, man, for hitting 400 episodes. That definitely needs to be saluted. It's not easy. These guys are fully independent, not dependent on networks. Shout out to Greg when he does sneaker episodes in his closet. I seen this guy run up 2-hour episodes solo, completely solo. I'm not talking about somebody behind the camera, somebody behind the audio. Completely solo, 2 hours. That's madness. That's madness. Salute to my guy because he's somebody I also look at. You know, when I was about to go solo, I studied some of his episodes so I could get some tips on how to, you know, be one-on-one with the camera, mannerisms, all that. So salute to my guy. He's a beast at this shit. And I continue y'all, and I hope y'all have another 400. So again, thank y'all for tapping in with me. Like I say every week, get your ass in that gym. Get your ass in that gym. Get your lazy, funky ass in that gym. Continue to strive for your goals. Bet on yourself. Trust your process, and you're either working or you're bullshitting. There is no middle. So like I say every week, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.